I've been dropshipping for 5 years now, and over these 5 years, I've generated over $8 million in sales and tested over 100 products. I started with just a few $100s to invest, and I'm a business owner traveling to different countries whenever I want and really just living my best life. I'm going to share my experiences over these past 5 years and explain what I did each year to get to where I'm currently at. Things like what to expect for your first few years, what I did to grow my dropshipping store, and how I transitioned it into an e-commerce brand. And most importantly, what you should avoid. And trust me, there's a lot. Okay, year one. So before I started dropshipping, I was pretty lost, but I knew what I wanted. I wanted to find a way out of a traditional 9 to 5. I wanted to travel, financially support my family, and maybe actually like what I do, but I didn't know how. That's when I met Steven, who introduced me to dropshipping, and soon I set out to find my first winning product. Very quickly, I found that iPhone cases with designs of popular and expensive shoes might actually be worth a shot. I already knew that there was a passionate audience about streetwear and hype culture who couldn't afford shoes at $1,000, so I created an alternative at $30. And I have to give a shout out to Steven for telling me about this super crazy niche. But there came the next challenge, capital. To run ads for my product, I needed to have money in to be able to get money out, but I had no time to juggle school and get a job. So what did I do to get more money? I ended up rationing extra money that was meant for food to fund the business. Then I started to do credit churning by signing up for credit cards like the American Express Blue Cash Every Day, the Chase Freedom Unlimited with these welcome bonuses. And I'd use my monthly necessary expenses to meet the credit spending requirements and then use the welcome bonuses to pay suppliers and fund ads. And then on top of that, I also split costs with a partner, which was a roommate at the time, just to make it a little bit easier to invest without risking my full net worth, which at the time was probably less than $1,000, but to me at that time it was a lot of money. And this paid off. The phone cases were selling like hotcakes. $1,000 days, $2,000 days came in fast. I reinvested everything that I made to scale the ad spend, and very quickly we hit $3,000 to $4,000 days. But this was short-lived. We started facing issues with shipping times, chargebacks, and PayPal holds, and worst of all, we got a cease and desist from a very well-known brand, which you guys probably know of, for selling products with their trademark. And I couldn't believe it because we had to shut down the entire store for good. And that's pretty much how my first year went. I was lost, panicked, and unsure what to do next. But when I look back, this first year really laid the foundation of all the skills that I needed to grow a store, from running ads to building relationships with suppliers. And if it taught me anything, it's that I needed to build a long-lasting brand. Year two. Following the cease and desist, I was testing 5 products per week, relentlessly trying to find the next winning one. And after 2.5 weeks, I had found 2 products that I saw potential in. I started testing this 6-teeth grass cutter product on my general store while building a separate store tailored to the other product's niche. The grass cutter product initially performed pretty well, but slowly the demand started to fade away. That's when I put all of my attention and focus to the other product, which ended up paying off big. With Facebook and Instagram ads, I'd scaled the brand to over $10,000 days in just a few weeks, which was more money than I'd ever seen in my entire life. With the dopamine coursing through my veins, I put more and more money into organic content and paid ads to scale the store up even more. But little did I know, I was about to learn a very expensive lesson. Soon after I put more into the ads, I started to get PayPal holds, account bans, and my Facebook feedback score dropped due to the long shipping times from China to the US. Now all of a sudden, it cost me twice as much for the same exact ad. This absolutely fucked me from scaling, and I was forced to take a step back. This was the second time I was getting screwed by PayPal holds and long shipping times. And that's when I realized that if I wanted to scale my dropshipping store to 7 figures, I had to take time to brand my product by playing the long-term game. Because of the bans, I'd lost all my momentum going into year 3. An expensive but valuable lesson. Thankfully, to keep this store in business, I had a speaker brand that was doing $100K to $150K in sales per month with really good margins. But unfortunately, that would get shut down soon due to the quality issues with the product. By the end of this year, my stores were doing average around $125K to $150K per month in revenue, bringing in $300K in profit. And while this year had its ups and downs, with that profit, I was able to realize my dream of traveling full-time while running my businesses. This was my first taste of freedom that dropshipping could actually bring. But little did I know, my travels would soon come to an end. In my 3rd year, I started facing logistics issues because of the known virus that brought everyone into lockdown. The pandemic destroyed the global supply chain and everyone was suffering from late deliveries. I struggled to send out products on time and so many customers were experiencing delays. During this time, I was still in school trying to juggle uni and working on my business, which was virtually impossible. Many businesses that didn't know how to go about fixing supply chain issues lost sales rapidly. If you can't get your product to your customers, you can't sell it. That's when my supplier came up with a literal genius workaround. Now, instead of shipping products from China to the US, which wasn't even an option anymore, we shipped the products from China to Japan and then from Japan to the US. To accommodate the increased delivery costs, I started ordering products in larger quantities, which overall reduced my cost per unit. I implemented a system of monthly sea shipments, which were cheaper, but it took around 20 to 30 days to arrive. And for urgent products, I shipped them by air to a 3PL US, who handled the fulfillment process, streamlining my operation. Although it would be a little bit more expensive for me to fulfill urgent products that required the plane or the air shipping, this allowed me to continue fulfilling orders for customers that needed the product fast. And guess what? It worked. Customers were willing to pay a premium for products because most stores couldn't deliver to them, which ended up covering my extra costs. This year, I focused on diversifying my product offerings and building my brand. I channeled a bunch of my energy into creating custom packaging that was so nice that customers would feel like they were doing themselves a disservice by throwing away the box. And if you bought an Apple product, you know exactly what I mean. How many of you guys still have that iPhone box that it came in? Now, to put all this into fruition, I had to work with so many different graphic designers, 3D render designers to make the perfect mock-ups. But what really helped was drawing inspiration from the most successful competitors in my industry. And because I was purchasing products in large quantities, my manufacturers were open to accommodating my request for customization, which allowed me to launch custom products on TikTok. And on the first day, an organic video that we posted that was featuring our product, it went viral, which ended up turning in over $33,000 in a single day without any paid advertising. And on the side, I was also posting onto TikTok for fun during the pandemic when I was at home and no one really had anything else better to do. As my TikTok content gained traction, I was receiving so many messages from people asking me how to start dropshipping and how to become successful. And because I didn't want to have to type out the same responses to everyone, I thought, hey, why not create a YouTube channel to answer all these questions? I thought it would be a good opportunity for networking and getting access to exclusive opportunities. So on September 10th of 2021, I posted my first video. I'd only start to take YouTube a little more serious the next year, so more onto that. Meanwhile, my dropshipping brand crossed the $2 million revenue mark. I expanded to Amazon, Walmart Marketplace, and started doing wholesale. I also utilized the newly introduced Facebook and Instagram shop features for my paid advertising campaign. Even though the pandemic was a tough year, I still managed to hit my new revenue milestone of $3.5 million. In my fourth year, I was focusing on building and managing my team as the business grew. I couldn't do everything on my own, so I started to hire virtual assistants to handle repetitive tasks, which allowed me to focus on the more conceptual work and strategy. I also traveled a ton this year, visiting around 25 countries and pretty much changing cities every other week to month. Traveling and working at the same time is definitely not easy, and this took quite a toll on me. This is something that most people don't really talk about because everyone wants to glamorize the digital nomad lifestyle, but work-life balance can be tough, especially when business is busy and you want to enjoy yourself in all these countries. Thankfully, I was traveling with friends who were also working on dropshipping and their online businesses, which made it easier to remind myself of my grand vision. I also posted my first official dropshipping video in January, which was a 24-hour dropshipping while on a plane, which was more of a vlog type of video of traveling with an e-commerce store. I continued to post content, and on my fourth video, it actually got a decent amount of traction. I was getting a bunch of positive comments thanking me for my content, and over the span of a few months, the channel grew to over 10,000 subscribers, which was absolutely crazy for me at the time. To this day, I still post content to inspire people like you to get started with dropshipping. YouTube aside, one of the key lessons I learned this year was the importance of building efficient teams and operations to create a successful business. I realized that hiring out the mundane work was important to allow me to focus on thinking about the strategies to actually grow the business. I had to work on the business, not in the business. Year 5. In my fifth year, dropshipping continued to become even more competitive, with dropshipping influencers blowing up on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. More and more people started their own stores, making it more important than ever to stand out. ChatGPT was becoming more mainstream too, which brought an opportunity to automate certain tasks. So it became even more important for me to stay updated with the latest trends. To be in the top echelon, you need to remain a student of the game and learn from others in the industry. Also, AI came in clutch in improving my ad copy and targeting on platforms like Facebook and TikTok, saving me hours of writing while achieving much better results. My brand's businesses continued to take off, getting thousands of dollars in sales per day. By the end of my fifth year, sales peaked at $8 million in revenue, signifying an all-time high. Which brings us to today: 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, 400K followers on Instagram, and multiple 7-figure dropshipping brands. One of the key pieces of advice I would give to those that are starting out in the dropshipping space is to have a clear motive that keeps you accountable and pushes you through those challenging times. For me, the desire to travel freely, live life on my own terms, and support my family kept me motivated throughout my journey. Also, you need to be willing to take risks and step out of your comfort zone. The reality is that taking calculated risks is what separates the winners from those who remain stuck in their 9 to 5. You need to embrace challenges if you want to win. Looking back on my 5-year journey in dropshipping, I'm amazed at the growth, the challenges, and the lessons I've experienced. I hope that my story and lessons can inspire you to start your own dropshipping store so that you can live the life that you've always dreamed of, just like I. I actually just created a free course where I condensed my 5 years of dropshipping knowledge into a 40-minute video. Most people will charge you over $1,000 for this type of advice, but I decided to put it on YouTube for free. Click on this video to check it out, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.